I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to my home. My name's Rebecca, if we're meeting for the first time. Welcome to my weekend inspiration, and for this weekend, I'm going to show you how I would decorate a candlestick, especially one like this one. It's sort of, I call it an ugly candlestick. I bought two from Amazon. They were blue. And I've painted them with chalk paint. I put them in the booth, tried to sell them there. They don't sell. So I want to see what I can do with these candlesticks, and let's create something for the fall. Since we're coming up on the fall season, so let's create something that can go as a centerpiece or on a console, which is what I'm working off right now. This candlestick is one I use for a riser, and I'll show you what I do with that. Maybe you have a candlestick like this one with the metal, and it's just the tall, skinny ones, and you want to make something grand for fall to go on your dining room table, or maybe you just have a little kitchenette table, but you want to dress it up. So come along with me today as I decorate these three candlesticks into something gorgeous for fall. And so let's go ahead and get started. On this candlestick, I have my candlestick. I have some picks to pick from. I have a sunflower, a pumpkin, another pumpkin. I have one of these adorable wreaths, and I also have one of these foam. I also have some wire cutters if I need to cut down the stems. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to make a ring here for this candlestick. Now, you see the ring? Let me go cut that out. Guys, I already got this cut out, and there was two in a pack. I forgot. That came from Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still carry those or not. You'll have to let me know. I haven't shopped there for quite a while. I had this one on hand. But this, I'm just going to slide over the candlestick. And this is going to be the base, and we're going to build from the top. Now, you can put a candle in here if you want to. I would put a battery operated, and I'll show you in both styles. Or we can set the pumpkin up there. So let me trim this off just a little. We don't need the long, extra long stem. I left a tiny bit of the stem just so it'll set up in there. But we'll go ahead and you can see where we're going with this. And I'll be able to pick it up like this. Now, if you do have a candle ring or a small wreath that can already go over this, that could already be a base. Let me take that off. And then you can just build up from here. I did find these hops, and these might be just perfect. Actually, I want to trim it. Now I'm going to trim a couple of these down, but I'm going to go ahead and put my wreath back on there. And then I just want to add these in my styrofoam and push them around your candlestick. This is going to give it a little bit of height. Around your candlestick, but you still want your candlestick to be seen. So I'm going to use 3 of these. And since we have an orange pumpkin and we're going more with the orange muted colors, I do like this little wreath. Now, if you don't have a wreath, you can take a lot of these picks and put them in, depending on how grand you want, and put them in your styrofoam. You could trim some of these off and build it up. We'll maybe do that before this video is over. Okay, want to make sure that my styrofoam is not being seen, so you may have to fluff a few leaves. I have this gorgeous sunflower I could put in the front. We'll see how that's going. All right, I've got to cut some of that off. I apologize, guys. You're probably hearing my neighbor's dogs, and you will see that I am a little concerned about them outside barking. Okay. I had posted on our neighborhood Facebook page earlier that I had seen a coyote in the back field, and to watch your babies and your puppies. So I get a little concerned here because I hear them barking, but actually they're out there barking at Larry while he's working in the landscaping. How gorgeous is that looking? I also have some of these gorgeous berries. I just think that would be beautiful in there. Okay, I'm just going to spread these out and put them in the styrofoam. Okay, now this, I still want a little bit of the candlestick to show so that you know that this is all around a candlestick. And to top it off, you can put a candle if you want, but I thought this pumpkin would just look gorgeous up there. Okay, here it is. I have it right over here on my buffet, and you could put that in the center of a table if you wanted to. There's that gorgeous sunflower, and you can still see the candlestick. You can put a battery operated candle in there if you wanted to, but how gorgeous is that? Just build it up into a pyramid up to the pumpkin, and just make sure you see a little bit of the candlestick. And how adorable is that centerpiece? On our next candlestick, I have more of the lower one. So this time we want the bottom, more of the bottom to show, but we want this one to flare out just a little. And I have two different sizes of styrofoam from Hobby Lobby. So since I want this one grand, and our next one is going to be this, I think I'm going to use this one for this. Okay, let's go with the smaller one here. Now I have seen some people take and glue this together, but I don't want mine permanent. If I do anything, I would use some glue dots. And you can get that in the craft section of scrapbooking. And you can get those little glue dots and put them on something, and they'll stick and it won't move around. But with the way I'm going to style this, it shouldn't move around at all. I should be able to lift it off and put it, if I wanted to even put it on something else and use it. So let's go ahead with this. I have two different color of pumpkins. I have a neutral, and then I also have one in color. I have some little pigs that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, which are adorable. I even have some feathers if I want to try to incorporate those. have some more little beads, and I have some of these neutral leaves, and these are still available at Hobby Lobby, and you can probably find them at other stores if you don't have a Hobby Lobby in your area. So this one we want to make sort of grand, but we want the bottom of this to show. So let's just go ahead. Let me take that plastic off. No need for the plastic to be on there. If it's the kind that sheds, leave your plastic on and just take the paper part off, just like that. But this one doesn't shed, so I'm gonna go ahead and take all the plastic off of it. I have all of these picks, and I just wanna go ahead and start incorporating them in the sides. Want them to go in there as far as they will. And of course you have to sort of fluff your leaves. I'm going to have one go down and the other two up. Just keep going around. I have 4 of these. I'm going to need some more filler. Again, this is just a little, like a candle ring or a little mini wreath. And of course, I do shop Hobby Lobby, but you can get creative. But since I'm going with a neutral color, I'm just going to place this on top. Some of those leaves will need to come down. Got to cover that up. Keep in mind, you can be creative with what you have on hand. I found these that I just recently picked up. These hydrangeas. I have to trim some of that off. It's a little too long. And you want to go opposite of each other. If you put one on that side, put one on this side. Got some neutral colored ones. These are adorable. We're just sort of filling in those gaps. Can you see those gaps? You just want to fill in those gaps. I've got these adorable berries. How cute. Good. Still filling it in. I have a little pumpkin. Take that off the top a minute. Looks like I got just a little bit more gaps to fill up. Let's get that back on there. And now I have some of these. And I have quite a few of these. I'm just going to take one apart and use some of the little pieces to it. I should be able to pull it out just like that. And there I have 3 pieces, and I can continue to fill in the gaps. We have a little gap right here. I am trimming off some of the lower leaves on these stems and filling in the gaps so that it doesn't hang too low on this candlestick. I want it to flare out wider than I do coming all the way down to the bottom of the candlestick. Guys, I think we have all of that filled up where you can't see that green styrofoam in there. Now, to pick which pumpkin that we like. I have this one, or we have this one. I think I'm liking that one better. It shows that. There is the first one, and here is the second one. And here you see the candlestick shown at the top. And on this one, your candlestick shows at the bottom. And you can go all the way around. And if you do see a little bit of the green, just go in there and fluff a leaf or two. Move it around as needed. And then this is the second one. Let me turn it around. There's that little pumpkin. But on this one, you see the bottom of the candlestick and it flares outward. And how gorgeous is that? And if you just use stuff that you have on hand and put it together, all your fall colors are going to come together. So just keep that in mind. And how grand is this without going and spending over $100 for a centerpiece? You can create one yourself. Let's move on to the next one. Now on this one, this is what I call my ugly candlestick. I want to see if I can bring it to life and make something beautiful out of it. So I have this candlestick. I have this huge, this is a number 8 disc, 2 inches thick by almost 8 inches wide. You can glue it on if you want or use glue dots. This came from Walmart, or this came from Hobby Lobby, but you can find these in any of your craft stores if you don't have a Hobby Lobby near you. So I'm just going to make an impression in this. Gives it a little stability. It won't slide around too much. But put your glue dots on there if you want, because you can take this all apart later. I do have another little wreath that can go on the top if needed. I found some little garland that I've had for years that might really look good around here as well. I have some of these little picks from Hobby Lobby, and they still have these. So what I'm going to do, and then I have some garland And this garland is sort of just falling apart, but I think I'm going to use it. So I've got a mixture of the white and the autumn colors. I'm going to start by just hanging these. Can you see I have it folded and then folded again? I'm just going to press that in there so that this hangs down. We're going to fluff as we go. Once you get all of these on there, it'll hang fairly well. I have 3. Of them. And they're just hooked where they're hanging down. Going to give it a draping effect. And we want most of this that's going to come down and go out. You're almost going to hide your ugly candle, but you're going to know that it is a candlestick. So just fluff your pieces out as needed, and they drape down. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and put my little wreath on top, and then all I'm going to have to do is fill it in. See, I'm going to fluff this a little bit. Give it a little height because your pumpkin is going to go right down in here. I think to hold that on, I'm going to put these over this ring, and it will just hold it on, and you don't have to secure it any other way. Okay, there you go. That is a candle ring or mini wreath. We've got 3 of the picks that's hanging down, and now we want to fill in all of our spots around it. And that's what I have this garland for. Cut off these ends. Maybe I want that just to make its way around in between the leaves. And then work it around. When it comes back around, work it under the top one. And back over the pumpkin side. This last one, I'm going to bury underneath. Okay, I want to make sure that I can see my hanging pumpkins, and I can. And I don't know that I need anything else on here other than my grand pumpkin. I have this one, but I think it's going to get lost. Let me turn it around here. What about that pumpkin? That pumpkin matches the base and then brightens up. So it's a toss between that one. I do also have this one. I do have a copper color. That's pretty. I don't know. For now, I think I'm going to go with this one. And you guys will have to tell me which one you like on that ugly candlestick. Here is the third and final one, the ugly candlestick. Most of the candlestick is hidden, but what a grand centerpiece. And this was done all the way around where you could put it on the center of a table, out in the middle of a console like mine is, or you can put it up against the wall. But you have to let me know which ones you like the best. There was 1, 2, and 3. Let me know in the comments, and let me know which pumpkin you liked on that last one.